guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kyuujin cosplay, and today we are back at you guys with To Your Eternity, episode 10.
Yes. So last episode, Rean went and joined Fushi in trying to convince Gugu to come back to the booze man's house, despite what he did to him.
She technically succeeded, right?
She did succeed. They had a talk, the first real talk in their short history of knowing one another. And they discussed their scars and how they both reacted to them. And he freaked out because like her wound is nothing compared to his, and he doesn't understand why she freaks out over her situation at home. And she doesn't really understand why he's freaking out over his situation either.
Well, because he doesn't explain it.
They don't understand one another because they come from very different backgrounds. So their realities are very different. But in the end, they kind of made some progress in their relationship. And they both made a move towards the other, and Gugu decided to come back. And what that led to is the forest, where they got attacked once more. And now you got Rean going back to the house. Gugu is going to try and help Fushi, who was in March's form, and he basically lost that form to the monster.
No.
So there's also like Rean's caretaker who was trying to get her back home, and she's kind of mixed in all this. So I don't know where she is right now. She might be unconscious somewhere, but she's around. She might be dead.
She might be dead.
But we gotta try and help Fushi because, as the narrator / creator said, he's learned nothing since the last encounter, and if that thing is better now than it used to be, we are fucked.
Yeah.
So let's jump in episode 10, see what they have in store for us. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, if you want to know when these episodes come out, and check out our Patreon for the full reactions.
Let's do it. Let's watch it, guys.
I'm happy about that. So then we might have the March as an adult that we see in the opening.
But this is still deception, though.
Yeah, but it's we kind of know now that whenever he absorbs those forms, he keeps a part of their soul. It's like their conscience is still in there.
What's gonna happen when that form is gonna grow to old age? Is that form's gonna die?
I don't know.
Someday?
Maybe. Like the 4 years passed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we get. I mean, I can't say if we'll get there. The show is already halfway done, so I don't know if we ever get to a point where one of his forms dies. If we do, it's gonna be the dog first, or the bear, depending on how old the bear was. The bear, I mean, was so huge and stuff. I don't think it can die, or at least I wouldn't die.
Yeah, I don't know though if he keeps one form for a long.
But who knows if he hasn't changed in 4 years?
Why would he change if he's just living with the booze man, the old lady, and the
convenience?
Gugu?
So we've seen him switch from the dog to the boy here and there. So I mean, maybe all his forms change. Like if he changes into March, maybe we see a March that's 4 years older, which technically would make her a teenager also, sort of. Almost a teenager.
Aww.
At least she's not a kid anymore. So I'm actually very happy about this because we get to give these characters a chance to grow up through Fushi. So it's not them, but it's still, their essence and stuff. So that's going to be good. And so we chose the path of, staying with Gugu and learning from him because he's strong. He definitely is now. And he's got a lot to, I think, we learned everything we had to learn from March. We learned everything we had to learn from the boy in the first episode. Now we are trying to learn as much as possible from Gugu. He needs to, he taught us how to cook. That's one thing. How to take care of ourselves. He seems to be able to talk a lot better. It's been 4 years. He's going to teach us like courage, determination, never giving up on someone or on something, when you've got that drive. That's what Gugu represents to me. So if he can give a bit of that to Fushi, that's the best. And I'm going to dread the moment we lose him.
I was scared a bit because when the booze man said that there might have been a rupture in the stomach, and if he over-exhausts himself, he might die. I was scared because will we lose him someday? I don't know.
I don't know. It's possible. I mean, at the end of the day, we will all lose them because Fushi is immortal. So
True.
he's gonna lose everyone eventually. That's the sad part of his story. But that doesn't, if there are two things you can do facing that, either you completely disconnect yourself from everyone because if you make connections, you'll have to break them at one point. And that's a miserable, lonely life, which is not what he's about. Or you go all out and you make every moment count because, life is short for mortals.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have that. So, and that's what he's doing right now. He stayed with Gugu trying to, he's enjoying it. Like he loves them. Gugu saved his life and he's, he's got courage and stuff, which is a thing that Fushi figured out. Like he knows about fear and about pain and stuff, but courage he didn't. And even though March had courage, that's not what we learned from her. So that was the whole
true,
concept
though,
of
against that knockers, that's what the creators call them.
Yeah.
Well, against that knocker, when you're not immortal like Gugu, it's so easy to just try to run and try to save your life, but staying and killing that thing to save your friend, it's really brave.
But at the same time, I think they have an advantage because I don't feel, or at least that's not what I saw. It's like the knocker, doesn't really care about anyone other than Fushi in those moments. So at least his attention is not on them. Like the grandma was around when Fushi got attacked the first time, and she wasn't touched.
Well, I mean, if it's being attacked by you, it's gonna defend
Well, yeah,
itself.
but you're technically not in danger if you are around because his attention is not on you.
Yeah.
So that makes things easier. But Gugu using his disability to take him down was great because that's what he and Rean kind of learned together. How, their situations sucked and they hated them. One thing they learned from the other is that even if their situation sucks, other people's situations suck even more, and sometimes the way you see things might seem terrible. You look at your situation and you're like, oh, Jesus, that's crazy bad. And you don't really see that you actually have it pretty good. And I'm not saying that doesn't make your feelings, relevant or anything. But if you take Rean, for example, what she described as a terrible wound was not that bad. Because Gugu's got the whole face destroyed. So her wound is not that bad, and the situation with her parents is not that bad. Like, they still care about her, they love her, they take good care of her.
They are overprotective and over-controlling, but they still care about her.
Like, that doesn't make them bad parents, they're just a bit too much, So maybe hanging out with a kid who has it worse or different, than her made her open her eyes a little bit on how okay her situation was, and at least she got the chance to tell her parents. So now it looks like they're letting her leave the house here and there.
Finally.
Yeah. So, and same with Gugu, his situation sucks for sure, and it's fine that he stood his ground facing the booze man, and he was like, I'm booze shithead or something, shitman or something. Like, I'm gonna call you names and stuff because what you did to me was wrong.
I think he called him booze shithead, yeah.
Yeah, so what he did to him was wrong, but at the end of the day, he saved his life, which is already pretty good.
And if it wasn't for that, he wouldn't have been able to save Fushi. So.
Yeah, like his situation, turned out to be useful in the end. So is it great? No. Does he deserve to, be angry? Totally. Mm-hmm. But he managed to look at the bright side and grow from it, which is pretty cool. Like I said in the episode, I'm not saying that there's not a limit. At one point when someone does something shitty, you gotta know that you don't have to accept it. That there's always a limit, and accepting it and living through the trauma and the abuse and stuff is not good at all. But sometimes what we freak out over seems huge, and then when we take a step back, we realize it's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
So in this case, that's what they did.
People should think like that more often in real life, if I'm honest with you. But
then again, like, I'm not saying that it's not because your situation isn't as bad as you see. You realize that your feelings are not genuine and not relevant. Not. It's just that sometimes we let the weight of our situation, literally écraser. Crush us. Sorry, my French. We let that weight crush us.
Yeah.
And we can't breathe, we can focus or anything, but then when we take that step back, we get to think rationally about this. Well, it's not that bad. You know, I can do this with that. Like, my face is messed up. But then, you know what? I can wear a mask, and the people that I care about don't give a shit about the mask, and they don't give a shit about my face, you know? And you get to make things better for yourself, because there are situations that you cannot, you know, brush to the side and forget about, or you can't correct. They will be there. It's what you have to be now. Like, you've changed. This is who you are. Deal with it, and it's not that easy. But sometimes taking a step back helps.
I would just say, like, just deal with it, if I'm frank.
No, that's what you have to do still. Like, in his case, he is wounded. His face is not going to go back to normal. And what the boozman did, I don't know if he took it out of his body. I kind of wish he did. But his face is done, you know? It's an accident that happened. Does he fall into depression, completely loses himself over the fact that he you know, he doesn't look normal anymore? He almost did. But then he took a step back, looked at his situation, realized that, you know what? It's not as bad, because the people I care about don't give a shit. So he gets to keep on going with this shitty situation.
Good.
It's about facing your problems and you know, going through them and coming out on the other side stronger. That's Gugu. Mm-hmm. At least that's what I take from these episodes, from this storyline.
No, it is a good thinking. So you're kind of right. So it's okay.
I think, like, there's just a part of me that keeps, you know, whispering in my ear, like, but, like, don't say their feelings are not relevant or anything, because definitely they are relevant.
No, you should never say that one's feeling is not relevant, because everybody is experiencing, living through stuff different way.
Yeah, that's what we said with Rean, you know? Like, it's not because what she's going through from our point of view and from Gugu's point of view is not that crazy, that, you know, she doesn't deserve to feel bad about it, and she doesn't, you know, deserve freedom. And, like, it's not because it's not that bad that she's not allowed to feel angry about her situation, you know? Anyway, so you said it several times, but Gugu definitely is one of the best characters so far. And I mean,
he's a freaking superhero, man.
And all his efforts ended up working. Like, now he's fucking Jack. Rean keeps showing up.
Did not expect to see Jack like that.
I like it.
Honest.
I like it. And Rean keeps showing up, so they kept in touch, and he kind of confessed his feelings too through the booze. So maybe she's it's not unrequited, you know, unrequited anyway. Maybe she shows up because she...
One-sided love story?
Like, for them, it looks like she keeps showing up saying that it's for Fushi, but in the end, it truly is not, you know?
Maybe it is, who knows?
And Fushi growing some beard. And,
because technically Fushi can grow. He can grow into a man.
I'm a bit excited to see his other forms grown, so maybe next episode. Anyway, so thank you guys so much for watching this with us. If you want to see the next episode right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
And if you don't, the next one will be on YouTube next week, guys. So stay tuned. We're going to see you in 7 days.
Bye.